I would describe survival mode as trying to live life the best that you can with what you're given, and that is the least amount of what you're given, and trying to make that work to fit your life so that you can live. I put 30 Percocets in my mouth, and I'll tell this life experience over and over again. Hopefully, it'll help someone else. And my toddler at the time bust in my room and was, "Hey, mommy, I loved you," and kissed me on my forehead and ran out the room. I knew that was nothing but God. I just wanted to be loved. And I was doing it in all of the wrong ways. And this healing journey and going back caused me to invest in me and stop putting others first, because that's what I did all my life. And I had to learn how to love myself. This is the first time I have ever loved myself and been at peace.
The reason why I started this podcast is because I recognize that had I known how trauma showed up in my life, I probably would have addressed it sooner. If I knew that people pleasing was a trauma response, if I knew that overachieving was a trauma response, if I knew that the way that I showed up, that I had spent years trying to justify being part of my personality was a trauma response.
But for the folks that are dealing with trauma, you have to remember also that your trauma affects other people as well. Even though we may not do it, hurt people, regardless if we try to or not. So it's the aftermath of everything that you have been through. It's the people that you affect in the process.
I don't think there is a place called healed, but people think that they're healed. They think that, they were the only ones that are impacted. And like you said, it's not just children, it's our relationships. Every person in our life is impacted, co-workers, neighbors, everyone that we come in contact with, the person at Starbucks, you know, gets a piece of that trauma in some way.
My trauma actually caused me to be a people pleaser.
Learning how to set boundaries was key in my healing. I'm still working on it. Like I think that's the hardest thing for me because I gave away my power for decades. Take care of me.
Yeah.
Yes, I may have children and yes, I have responsibilities, but my primary focus should be me.
Once you get the strength and courage to start saying no and standing on no, and no is creating boundaries with people, because people will step over. If I get all the money back that I lent with people, and I ain't talking about a little money, I'm talking about six figures money, I would be living good, real good. If that person asks you for $100 and you know you ain't having to give, and you know you wasn't gonna be all right, and you would have just said no, guess what? You would have never put yourself in that situation. You were a part of my childhood abuse. I would never take advice from you ever again. Your family secrets are your family secrets. They're not my secrets. And God has given me a voice. And now God has given me power within that voice to help other people. Nobody but God gets permission to cross those boundaries. And no has become my favorite word too.
I can only pick one person. It's either gonna be him or me. And it's
Me
me. I'm
all
not
the
gonna be,
time.
yeah, I'm not gonna be sat her left feeling horrible just because of this blind loyalty, being tethered to someone who really doesn't care about. But you can't heal in the environments that hurt you. You can't grow around the people that hurt you. Just because somebody says they love you doesn't mean they have good intentions. And you get caught up in and tethered to people who just want to see you
Yeah,
stealing
they
your
love it
trauma.
If I decide to go to their house and I need to take a nap, they're going to allow me to take a nap and they're going to put a blanket over me. If I'm hungry, they're going to feed me. If I need somewhere to stay, they're going to allow me in, and they're not going to talk about me. When you love yourself, that's when God is going to bring you a circle of love. It came from forgiveness. It came from accepting the good, the bad, the ugly. It came from looking at people and understanding that those that hurt you are hurt people because people hurt them. They're taught to build together. They're taught to grow together. They're taught to help each other. How can you perform a service of me when you don't even understand what I've been through?
But listen, if you don't understand trauma, you shouldn't be touching people who are traumatized. And that's just how I feel. I think
Mhm.
every person in a helping field needs to be trauma informed.
We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization giving back to communities, men, women, and youth, specifically youth, because we want to catch the youth young so that we can give them a better future. I've been there, I've done that. The free youth tutoring, I did that because I was so distracted in schools. I was smart, but distracted because I was going through a lot of a trauma. So how could I solely focus on school? We have a podcast called Unfiltered Unspoken Podcast where we share actual life experiences of others in hopes that someone will connect to start the journey to healing.
You were not built to break, but you damn sure were not built to just survive. Disrupt the cycle, reclaim your life, and thrive on your own terms. But here's the truth: you're not broken, you're just unfinished. So if something stirred in you today, don't ignore it. Don't numb it, move with it. And I want to once again invite you to join Disrupting Survival Mode, the Facebook community where healing is loud and messy and real.